Show personalities and guests alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Are you ready to go beyond? Welcome to my show, Go Beyond. I'm your host, Jordana Foster. Each week, I will be showing you how to go beyond your limiting beliefs to take you and your business to the next level. If you're ready to redefine, recommit, reset, and re-engage yourself, this is the time, this is the place, Go Beyond.
Securities offered through Aventex Investment Services, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Aventex Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through Aventex Affiliated Insurance Agency.
Well, good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday night, and you know what that means. It's the Go Beyond show night, and I'm your host, Jordana Foster. And as you may remember, at the beginning of last year, I decided that we were going to highlight one key word, whether I had a guest sponsor or contributor, or I was doing a coaching and training. Any ideas what the word of the day is? The word of the day is education. Education. And we're going to unpack that with my very special guest and contributor here tonight. But just a little bit about me as a business coach, as a leadership communication trainer, and a motivational speaker. I help business owners, business professionals, and organizations and managers to get out of their own way, to get unstuck, and to get very clear on what it is that's holding them back from achieving the goals that they have for their life, for their business, and their career. And I want to assure you, it's usually more than one thing that's holding them back. From virtual and in-person mindset shift workshops, communication and leadership trainings, corporate training programs, DISC personality assessments, and workshops designed for sales teams and organizations and businesses that are really looking to elevate their mindset, enhance their communication skills, and up-level their performance for optimal results. Don't we all deserve the optimal results? Absolutely. Now more than ever, having a thinking partner, an accountability partner, a mindset coach to help guide you through these uncharted waters. It's not only a luxury, it's not a luxury anymore. It's an absolute necessity to help you think creatively and more strategically. So if you're ready, and I mean really ready, to go beyond the excuses and the limitations, contact me for a complimentary lunch and learn, workshop, or discovery session at readysetgobeyond@gmail.com. Like and message me on Facebook at readysetgobeyond. Contact me on my website, johnmaxwellgroup.com/Jordana Foster. Because here's what you need to know. If you want to grow your business, if you want to advance in your career, you need to do the inner work. It starts from the inside. It's time for you to step up, show up, and never give up. It is time for you and your team to go beyond. So I am absolutely thrilled. It is my wonderful pleasure to welcome my amazing guest and Go Beyond contributor. There he is, Matthew Bodkin, President and CEO of Building Financial Solutions, which is a private wealth management firm that helps you simplify finance. Matt, welcome again to the Go Beyond show. It's such a pleasure having you here.
Hey, Jordana. Good to see you.
Always great to see you, Matt. We have so much to cover, so we're going to jump right in. So, you're extremely committed. The word of the day is education, and you are extremely committed to educating your clients on financial understanding, and you place such a strong emphasis on the education process with your clients. So here's a double question here. Why is education so important to you? And what are some things that could possibly happen when we are not educated about our finances?
So, as you know, my goal is to simplify finance. We are trying to simplify concepts. Right. And so the ways we do that is through consolidating things, organizing things, making things transparent, and educating. And educating goes to the heart of all things, meaning we need to understand how things work, what we have, and the flow of information is necessary to build relationships and to maintain and not lose things perhaps that we may have.
So true. And I want to back up just a little, because for anyone who didn't watch previous shows, and I really highly recommend you go back and watch them on our Facebook page and Matt's page. The interesting thing is that the education is part of the COAT formula. And you could just talk really quickly about the four letters and what they're all about, so that people can know, and then we'll jump back into the education. So the COAT formula, what does that stand for?
So COAT formula, not like the jacket in our closet,
Right.
but it's COTE. It's consolidating things that we own, organizing them in a way that we understand what we have, making them transparent, and doing all this through education. And education is just so vitally important.
And that's something that certainly distinguishes you and separates you from so many other financial advisors and planners, because that is such a key piece of what you do and how you help your clients. So let me go back just for a minute, because you just talked about, the importance of education, but I wanted you to go in, if you could, because I know there are some specifics. When we are not aware, if we don't have the full understanding, what are some things that could possibly happen? You shared with me about things that you've seen with families that could you share a few of those, pain points, so that people can really understand the importance, how extremely important it is to gain that understanding in education?
Sure. So all the time I deal with finances, right? People's finances, a very sensitive area. And oftentimes these conversations, educations, either from the advisor to the clients or from the clients to their families, do not happen. And when these things don't happen, we've seen families totally fall apart, where they're arguing and they're not planning appropriately. And maybe, for example, if something happens to parents and the brothers and sisters just are totally divided, they go to war with each other, and it's just, it can be such a mess for the families to not have that level of communication.
And then there was something else about being taken advantage of. If you had mentioned that sometimes when people don't have the knowledge and they don't know, they don't have that education, they can be taken advantage of. So these are some things that when you contact Matt for that consultation, which again, I highly recommend, these are some of the things that you can avoid. And, just becoming a little more educated, having that understanding. So when you've also mentioned, and I think this is very important, what if scenarios. Why are those important? And what are those what if scenarios that people need to be aware of?
I'm actually going to answer that second question first.
Okay.
What is a what if scenario?
Right.
Right? What if I want to buy a house? What if I want to travel? What if I want to spend time with my family? We are planning for future events. What ifs is truly planning. And if we're not thinking about the future and we're not planning, then we're living moment by moment, hoping things will work out, which oftentimes they actually do not. Now, the second part of that question is, well, why is, going through what ifs so important, and, and how do we deal with that? Well, that's the whole point. It's important to handle and talk about the what if scenarios so that we understand the goals of a client. The goals are so important because we're able to solve and create a process for these what if scenarios and actually create a path.
Fantastic. And even some of those what ifs, for all of you listening and watching tonight, a what if scenario might be at some point that you want to move and be closer to your kids and grandchildren. So all of those scenarios come into those what if, thoughts. And those are conversations that you should have with Matt so that you can really have a plan, because hope is not a plan and it's not a strategy. So that's very important for you to, have that conversation and unpack that so that the what ifs turn into reality. So it seems like that a lack of knowledge creates fear. And I know as a business coach, that's the case. But as a financial advisor, don't you find that to be the case? fear, versus understanding?
Yeah, so we're oftentimes as humans, we are afraid of things we don't understand. Imagine walking into a cave where it's dark. You don't know what's in there, right? The unknowns create fears. There may be nothing in that cave. There may be a dragon in there. Now, of course, dragon's not real, but you get the idea, right? There could be a bear or something strange in there. So it requires light. What if I had a flashlight or a light in the cave and I could see what's in there? How different would the experience of entering into that cave be? I wouldn't be afraid because I can see what's in front of me. Right. And when it comes to finances, people don't necessarily understand what's in the cave. They don't understand certain things and they're in the dark. And so to be able to make decisions, it requires education. Education creates the light so that we can enter and create a path for our finances.
I love that. Not being in the dark, but shining that light so you have that clarity and that understanding and education. And what about the fear of asking? Do you feel that people are sometimes afraid to ask questions when it comes to finances?
So, yes, but I mostly find that people are afraid to ask for the basics, the absolute basic concepts, because we all have an ego. We want to appear smart, right? We want to appear brilliant. We don't want our friends and family to know that we do not know something, and our colleagues and our professionals. So we don't know how to get the basics, the basic building blocks. And I spend a lot of time with people in a confidential way to help them get the basics, absolute basics of finances so that we can build together, and that once they get those building blocks, we can advance through more education and make better decisions once the education happens.
That's amazing. So, Matt, how can somebody listening or watching contact you for more education, more understanding of their financial situation right now, as well as planning for the future? How can they contact you for that consultation?
So our company is buildingfinancialsolutions.com. That's buildingfinancialsolutions with an S.com, or call our office 954-771-0100. That's 954-771-0100. And again, I'm Matt Botkin.
Fantastic. And I highly recommend you ask the questions that you're afraid to ask, that you might be fearful of, the things that you don't understand. Getting those basic building blocks for your financial future, for your situation right now. And Matthew Botkin with Building Financial Solutions can help create that clarity, to shine that light in that darkness and really reassure you and give you that peace of mind that we all are, so much looking for. Matt Botkin with Building Financial Solutions. Don't go anywhere. We're going to continue this conversation, but I'm going to cut to a quick commercial break with my wonderful contributors. I'm Jordana Foster with the Go Beyond Show, and we're going to continue the conversation in just a minute with Matt Botkin, all about education with your finances. Matt, thank you so much. See you in just a minute. Has changed. Have you changed? Leadership and success requires so much more than they did before. Investing in your own personal development as well as the development of your team is an absolute necessity in this new, ever-changing digital business landscape. Mastering mindset and effective communication skills are critical pieces to the success and growth of your business now more than ever. I'm Jordana Foster, founder of Ready, Set, Go Beyond. As a certified mindset coach, business strategist, communication and leadership trainer, and motivational speaker, I am passionate about helping business professionals, business owners, executive managers, sales teams, and organizations to elevate mindset, enhance communication, and up-level performance. Mindset and communication are the key skills for success, especially now with most of us working remotely and interacting with our clients virtually on a daily basis. Don't just survive, it's time
time to thrive. Contact me for a complimentary 20-minute discovery session at readysetgobeyond@gmail.com. Like and message me on Facebook at Ready Set Go Beyond, or contact me on my website at johnmaxwellgroup.com/Jordana Foster. If you want to grow your business or advance in your career, you need to grow yourself first. Step up, show up, and never give up. It's time to go beyond.
Does your pool have a leak? Pool leaks can be extremely costly, mostly because many homeowners don't realize the difference between normal evaporation and a leak. With over 20 years of expertise, LeakWorks provides premier leak detection, repair and pool equipment for pools, spas, and fountains. We've performed thousands of leak detections and repairs for both residential and commercial swimming pools throughout South Florida. We provide comprehensive leak detection using the latest state-of-the-art ultrasonic equipment to dive pools. We specialize in leak detection and repairs, skimmers, pumps, filters, main drains, heaters, lights, saltwater systems, and so many more. Call us at 954-629-3654 or email us at leakworksflorida@gmail.com to set up an appointment. Honest, reliable, dependable, licensed, and insured. LeakWorks. When it comes to pools, we have the tools and expertise to get the job done right.
At Building Financial Solutions, we understand that finances, inheritances, and retirement can be stressful, overwhelming, and complicated, and we simplify it together. We guide you through the process of preparing for today and tomorrow. We specialize in investments, inheritances, rollovers, annuities, retirement, estate planning, and insurance. Contact us for a complimentary consultation at 954-771-0100 or on our website, www.buildingfinancialsolutions.com. Building Financial Solutions. Simplifying finance. Securities offered through Aventex Investment Services, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Aventex Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through Aventex affiliated insurance agency.
You've been listening to Go Beyond. If you want to be part of the show as a guest, highlighting your business, or you would like more information about the content of the show, email me at readysetgobeyond@gmail.com or share your thoughts and call me at 888-565-1470. Welcome back to the Go Beyond show. I'm Jordana Foster, and I have the wonderful Matthew Botkin with Building Financial Solutions. I'd like to thank my wonderful contributors. First, LeakWorks, which is your expert in pool leak detection and pool repair. Over 25 years in the business, licensed and insured, commercial and residential. For all of your pool repair and leak detection needs, contact leakworks.com. And of course, Building Financial Solutions, a private wealth management firm helping you simplify finance. And like we're talking about tonight, finances can be so complicated and overwhelming, and having Matthew Botkin with Building Financial Solutions to help simplify the process makes all the difference. So I highly recommend you contact them. So Matt, thank you so much. We're talking all about the word of the day, which is education when it comes to your finances. And Matt, you had mentioned, this was very interesting. Listen to this, everyone. You had mentioned that some people are actually afraid to live well or live their best life because finances, obviously worry and concern and fear comes into play. Can you talk into that for a little bit? Because I think that's important.
So this is one of the more important things we're covering today.
Absolutely.
People, when they retire, do not live the best life they can. Very commonly, what happens is people spend their whole lives working and or building assets. And once they've built this pile of money, once they retire, they start spending down what they have. So they are afraid to take every dollar to do anything. And that I don't care if you have $50,000, $1 million, $5 million, it doesn't matter. What happens is if I have $5 million that I'm sitting on and I want to travel, see my family, I want to do a cruise, I want to travel across the world, right, this is all the money I'll ever have. So I worry every time I need to make a decision whether it's worth doing or not. So we have a client that had millions of dollars, a few million,
Right.
and wife was worried every time she pulled the dollar. And we found a solution, a way to convert that pile of money into a pension equivalent so that they could receive assets. Because, Jordana, if you receive $10,000 a month in your bank account, and next month you know it's going to fill up again to receive another $10,000 next month, what will you do with what are you going to do with that?
I'm going to travel. I'm going to spend it because I won't have to worry, right?
Right. And we are able to solve that and create that $10,000 a month forever, as long as a couple lives. We can actually cover couples, 5, 10, depending on what what assets people have. But we were able to really solve a client's lives. And after we were educated and we went through the Koch formula and we simplified it for them, we were able to solve their lifestyle issues, and they were able to travel and see the world and do everything they ever wanted.
That's an incredible story. And I think so many times it comes back to you don't know what you don't know, right? So being able to have the conversations about what the goals are that you have for you and your family and what it is that you have right now and what you want to do with that money is such an important conversation. And the education, knowing that you have options for them that will allow them to live that quality life that, living our best life. That's what we're here for. So that's an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing that and illustrating that point. As a financial planner and advisor, you share that one of the best ways to learn is by asking questions. And you create such a conducive environment for that. But so many people are scared to ask those questions. How do you make the question asking and the learning process easier and less overwhelming for your clients? Because you absolutely do. It's part of your, your reputation. It speaks volumes of that. So how do you do that?
Well, number one, we do that by creating a confidential space. Primarily, it's important, so important, to know that things we talk about are confidential.
Mm-hmm.
And to make that confidential space, what we do is, number one, my credentials. I am a tax attorney. I'm a CPA and a lawyer and a certified financial planner. As a matter of fact, lawyers are held to the highest standard of confidentiality. So when you're talking to a lawyer, you can talk about anything, and it is totally confidential. So that's number one. Number two, we are needs-based. I'm an independent. We are needs-based. So our goal is to understand the client's goals. We're not selling anything in particular. It's about having a conversation with the client to understand their needs. Mm-hmm. And when clients realize they're talking to somebody who's actually listening to them, to understand them and their needs and their goals, it creates a natural synergy where they're open to being educated.
Right.
And number three is we're independent. I'm an independent advisor. So by being independent, I don't work for any banks. I'm not selling anything. It's not about the next commission check. It's about actually helping clients by maintaining my independence. So those combination of those three create that confidential space. And by having confidential space with clients, they're open to having, totally open and honest conversations to improve their lives.
That's incredible. So remember those 3 points. Ready? It's, obviously those credentials that nobody else has. And the needs-based, and also that you are an independent advisor. And your agenda is their agenda. You don't have a separate one. Yours is to take care of your clients and what their needs are. So Matt Bodkin with Building Financial Solutions, I want to thank you so much for helping to shed some light on how important education is with regards to finances, and that you can help your clients create that safe, confidential space. How can they contact you? Because we're going to go to the quote. How can they contact you for that complimentary consultation?
Sure. So I'm Matt Bodkin with Building Financial Solutions. That's Building Financial Solutions with an S.com. Or give us a call at 954-771-0100. That's 954-771-0100.
Thank you so much, Matt. It's amazing as always. The quote of the day: the most important attitude that can be found is the desire to go on learning. John Dewey. And how can you go on learning when it comes to your finances? To become more educated with what you have, what you need, where you're going to go with that and what that's going to look like. And Matt Bodkin with Building Financial Solutions can help educate you and simplify the process. I'm Jordana Foster with the Go Beyond Show. Matt Bodkin, Building Financial Solutions. As always, it's a pleasure. Thank you all so much. Contact him for a complimentary consultation and get educated on your finances. Make it a great night. We'll see you here next Tuesday night on Facebook and also on WWNN. Have a great night, everyone. Bye. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks.
Securities offered through Avantex Investment Services, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Avantex Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through Avantex affiliated insurance agency.
Thank you for watching Go Beyond. Tune in next week as we continue to explore effective ways to help you go beyond your limiting beliefs to unlock your true potential to thrive personally and professionally. Learn how to take you and your business to the next level. Contact me at readysetgobeyond@gmail.com. Like and share my video, because sharing is caring. Contact me at 305-753-6758 or go to my website at readysetgobeyond.com.